Good morning. All organisms start simple and they end up more complex. In biological terms, you start with only one cell and you grow up into multi cell, even into trillions of cells with regard to human beings. So, I'm going to talk about that remarkable journey from one cell to trillion cells. I'm going to talk about our biological pilgrimage, our biological journey. Your biological journey began with your appearance on life stage as a zygote or one-celled organism. You were a zygote, a mere speck of matter, not too much different from a bit of mud or dust. Bible says you are made out of dust. That is true. In scientific term, that biblical mud is translated into zygote. From that point on, you became a blastocyst or multicelled organism, then an embryo, then a fetus, and finally a newborn babe. As an infant, you were still very much a biological organism focused on the physical comforts and discomforts of eating, eliminating, and clinging to your mother's body. Eventually, you grew up from the body into more complex forms of thinking and feeling and behaving. When you get mad at somebody, you use this language, no? Why don't you grow up? Grow up. So that is what growing up means into a complex thinking and acting and behaving being. All along, however, you maintained this thread of connection to your biological origins. As human potential writer Joseph Chilton Pearce explains, throughout our lives, the earth remains the matrix of all matrices. No matter how abstract our explanations of pure thought and created reality, the mind draws its energy from the brain, which draws its energy from body matrix, which draws its energy from the earth matrix. This biological line of human development is best symbolized by the umbilical cord or umbilical cord or umbilical cord. This cord is what linked you not only to your own mother, but to her mother and her mother's mother, and so forth, all the way back to the beginnings of biological life. James Joyce expressed this connection lyrically when he wrote in his great novel Ulysses, which was a modern updating of Homer's Odyssey. The cords of all link back, strand entwining cable of all flesh. The cords of all link back, strand entwining cable of all flesh. In body of development, we trace the growth of our root system back through millions of years of evolution and genetics and experiences and experiencing ourselves ultimately as linked with the earliest forms of life. And even further back, as Joseph Chilton Pierce indicated above, to the very body of Mother Earth herself. There is another journey you take, however, that has quite different origins from that of the earth. This is a hidden journey that only the poets and mystics seem to know much about. It represents the part of you that came down from the Spirit, that descended from a higher or broader realm of being into a lower or narrower state of material existence. William Wordsworth referred to this spirit down journey in his poem, Ode, on intimations of immortality in childhood, when he wrote, "Not in entire forgetfulness, and not in utter nakedness, but trailing clouds of glory do we come from God, who is our home. Heaven lies about us in our infancy." William Blake spoke of spirit down development when he observed the source of life descends to be a weeping babe. Religious traditions refer to the spirit down journey when they speak of the fall from grace, the exile from paradise, the incarnation of the soul into the body, or the imprisonment of spirit in matter. The key image for spirit down development is the angel, a celestial being that linked you as an unborn or newborn child to a higher power. Many world cultures have given a name to this perinatal being. Christianity refers to this power as a guardian angel. Judaism calls this angel Laila. Buddhism calls her Avalokiteshvara. Kuan Yin or Kanon, and Maori tradition refers to her as Hine Titama. So we are made up of spirit down and grown up, going up. So these two, one is the matter and another one is the soul. One is, most probably I would put it, it's a material instinct. The another one is spiritual energy. Take care, bye.